Imagine discovering that the water you've been drinking for years is tainted with toxic chemicals, chemicals so persistent they're dubbed forever chemicals. This is the harsh reality for one Chapel Hill family whose story has sparked a broader investigation into the role of sludge in contaminating private wells. But here's where it gets controversial. Could decades of using treated sewage sludge as fertilizer be the culprit? And if so, who's accountable for the cleanup? On September 11, 2025, Bob Meeker and his family received devastating news. State-funded testing revealed dangerous levels of PFAS, per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, in their private well. Nestled in a serene rural area of northwestern Chapel Hill, near Orange Grove Road, their home was surrounded by fields and forests, far from industrial hubs. Yet, their water was anything but safe. We had to spend over $3,000 on a filtration system just to make our water drinkable, Meeker shared. It's unfair that families like ours are left to bear the cost of contamination caused by practices we had no control over. The Meeker property sits adjacent to farmland, where wastewater biosolids, treated sewage sludge from wastewater plants, were applied for decades as a cost-effective fertilizer. Rich in nutrients, biosolids have been widely used across the U.S. to enhance soil quality. But this is the part most people miss. These same biosolids may also carry PFAS, chemicals linked to severe health issues, including cancer, thyroid disease, immune dysfunction, and developmental problems in children. PFAS, often called forever chemicals due to their persistence in the environment, have been in use since the 1940s in products like nonstick cookware, waterproof fabrics, and firefighting foam. Their resistance to heat and water makes them invaluable in industry, but also nearly impossible to eradicate once they enter ecosystems. The EPA recently established its first enforceable drinking water limits for 6 PFAS compounds, including PFOA and PFAS, both of which were found in the Meeker's well at levels exceeding these thresholds. The Orange Water and Sewer Authority, OWASA, which operates the Mason Farm wastewater treatment plant, confirmed that biosolids have been applied on nearby lands since 1988. OWASA manages hundreds of acres around Cane Creek Reservoir and collaborates with farmers in Orange, Chatham, and Alamance counties to distribute treated sludge under state permits. While OWASA began testing biosolids for PFAS in August 2022 after the EPA approved new methods, recent samples from February 2025 detected 6 PFAS compounds in dewatered biosolids and 4 in liquid biosolids. OWASA asserts it has never applied biosolids within the Cane Creek Reservoir watershed, which supplies drinking water to parts of Orange County. However, areas just outside this boundary, including farmland near the Meeker home, were part of the program until recently. All our biosolids applications comply with current regulations, said Allison Spinelli, OWASA's Director of Water Resources. But managing biosolids is challenging, and alternatives are often cost-prohibitive. While biosolids are a suspected source of PFAS contamination, OWASA notes that other factors, such as consumer products, industrial discharges, and atmospheric deposition, could also contribute. It's extremely difficult to pinpoint a single source for elevated levels in a well, an OWASA spokesperson explained. The North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, DEQ, added that there are currently no state or federal standards limiting PFAS in biosolids, though it is studying their statewide impacts. For residents like Meeker, these uncertainties are unsettling. We all rely on these wells for drinking water, he said. You'd think there'd be a proactive plan to test them, but I had to push for action myself. Meeker has sought reimbursement through the Bernard Allen Emergency Drinking Water Fund, a state program offering temporary bottled water and partial treatment system coverage. Yet, he emphasizes that this doesn't address the root problem. OWASA has joined a regional working group with DEQ, UNC researchers, and local health departments to investigate the impacts of land-applied biosolids. The Utilities Board recently approved funding to test private wells near historic application sites, including areas northwest of Chapel Hill. Testing is slated to begin later this year. We want to understand what our biosolids contribute to the environment and how we can mitigate any harm, Spinelli said. This issue isn't unique to North Carolina. As utilities nationwide test wastewater sludge, PFAS are being detected in biosolids across the country. Yet, without federal standards, most treatment plants continue to spread treated sludge on farmland, a practice long promoted as eco-friendly and cost-effective. For families like the Meekers, the science and regulations are lagging behind the reality in their homes. Clean drinking water shouldn't be a fight, Meeker said. Someone needs to take responsibility. Here's a thought-provoking question for you. Should the use of biosolids as fertilizer be reevaluated given the risks of PFAS contamination? Or is this practice too economically vital to abandon without viable alternatives? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's spark a conversation that could shape the future of water safety and environmental policy.